Hi everyone, this is LDoster and welcome to my Technology Integration Project presentation. Today I'm going to be talking about using mind maps to enhance reading comprehension, focusing on second graders as they move into third grade. So the instructional plan that I've developed addresses the problem of that critical transition from the lower to the upper elementary grades. In the United States, third grade is marked by increased academic demands. Students are expected to be able to solve multi-step problems and read and work independently. At the same time, they're also expected to demonstrate advanced social skills and collaborate with their peers with minimal instruction from their teachers. In addition, third grade is the year that students move from learning to read to reading to learn, and this is more than just in the English and language arts classroom. You see it in science and social studies and even math, where they come to rely more and more on textual analysis. So what you see is children who haven't made that leap to fast, fluent reading and comprehension begin at that very moment to fall behind, and for many of them that gap continues to grow without well-timed intervention. This is known by researchers as the Matthew effect. It's where the academically rich get richer and the poor get poorer. So those small differences in learning ability grow into much larger ones if schools don't take proactive and responsive measures to keep students on track for success. So in addition to individualized learning plans for students that may include specialized instruction or tutoring, I propose the introduction of a strategy that can be incorporated in the general curriculum to enhance learning and reading comprehension for all students in second and third grades, and it's with the use of mind mapping. So what is mind mapping? Mind mapping is a visual thinking tool that helps with structuring and organizing and understanding ideas and information. You start with a central topic at the center of your map. Main themes then radiate from that central image, and branches and sub-branches form a connected nodal structure around what's typically considered an abstract central topic. The point of a mind map is to be able to get your brain process into paper or onto paper and then make connections between the ideas. So it ends up looking very much like how your brain works. There are many benefits of mind mapping. You can sort through details. It can help you better analyze, comprehend, and synthesize information. You can generate new ideas by discovering relationships among seemingly unrelated information. They've been shown to enhance memory and retention, especially when you're utilizing color, images, and keywords. Mind maps can also increase productivity and critical thinking. However, the non-sequential and free flow of ideas that's characteristic of mind mapping may be difficult for some of our more linear or logical thinkers, so there might be a little extra effort that has to happen for them to be able to utilize mind mapping. There's a good bit of theoretical justification for introducing mind mapping into the classroom. From a Vygotskian social constructivist perspective, learning is a very active and social process, and through collaborative elaboration or sharing of individual perspectives, people create meaning through those interactions and the environment, and to socially construct and culturally construct knowledge. Mind maps can be seen as organizers or instructional scaffolding that supports people as they construct personally relevant knowledge independently. Furthering constructivism is a theory called constructionism, which was developed by Seymour Papert. Constructionism focuses on the construction of mental models or making connections among ideas to understand your world, which is exactly what mind maps are intending to do. Constructionism also focuses on self-directed learning with facilitation from teachers, which is what the third grade classroom actually looks like. And constructionism also supports the integration of technology in the classrooms. Mind mapping is also supported by the 4 C's of 21st century thinking and learning. Particularly creativity and critical thinking are highly necessary in order to create a coherent mind map of your ideas. Mind maps also force you to be able to communicate with not only yourself but your peers to be able to explain your line of thought. And then of course mind maps can also be used as a collaborative tool, which we'll see in just a moment. So for strong reading comprehension skills, students must be able to link their thoughts, to recognize relationships, to extract information, and to make deeper connections. And I propose the use of a web-based mind mapping tool to assist in that process. I chose web-based, obviously. It's more, for many reasons actually. It's more flexible, it's more adaptable and collaborative, and it also allows for trial and error and correcting possible mistakes in the thought process without a complete destruction of what you've done thus far. So specifically, I propose the introduction of MindMeister. We would utilize this in small guided reading groups of second graders to enhance reading comprehension. They would then use that creation of the mind map to design, record, and share some sort of video production or recreation of what they had read and analyzed. So let's look first at the program. MindMeister. MindMeister is a collaborative, online, completely web-based mind mapping software. You use it to capture and develop and share ideas visually. It's really easy to use, runs on a standard web browser, and it can be mobile as well. They have iOS and Android versions as well. You can use it to make your studying more efficient, to learn faster, to take better notes, and to brainstorm more effectively. But the key thing about MindMeister is it allows you to engage and collaborate online. So you can share maps with individuals, you can work simultaneously, comment, chat, vote in real time, and then take that mind map and either export it to some sort of business tool like a Google Drive or Dropbox, or really you can even create a presentation within MindMeister that allows you to zoom and pan out to relevant areas, and you can take that and then embed it somewhere else into maybe a blog or a website. So it really is a well-rounded online tool for mind mapping. So we utilized mind mapping within the actual instructional plan, which we'll talk about now. This is just a couple of images from the actual implementation. I chose a text called Susan B. Anthony. It was written by Alexandra Wallner. It's a kid's biography. Because I didn't have access to a full classroom of second graders, I took my daughter and her two friends who are current second graders, all three of them, of approximately the same reading level, and encouraged them to participate with me, and thankfully they said yes. So what we did was we took this biography, which actually speaks to or fulfills one of the social studies standards for Georgia performance for third grade, as well as English and language arts standards. And we read this text together in a small guided reading group. They asked questions, they took notes while we were reading. When we were all done with the text and they felt like they fully understood it, they then took their notes and the book and created a mind map via MindMeister. I gave them feedback as they were going through it, and as you'll see when we visit MindMeister, I actually decided to create a template prior to them messing with the program, and the reason was that they had never done a mind map before. None of them had even read a biography before, according to them. So I wanted to make it a little bit easier of a transition for them into this new activity. So you'll see that template in just a moment. From their mind map that they created, they then took that information, picked out what they wanted to from it, and recreated the story itself into a video production. I gave them flexibility on that. I didn't want them to feel confined to doing, a movie trailer or anything like that. So they could do a mini bio or just a Q&A with each other, anything to show me that they learned about Susan B. Anthony. That movie making process really helped them to reinforce and review that new information as well. The assessment for this project was really the mind map itself was the proof of learning, as well as an informal satisfaction survey, which we'll look at soon. So let's look at MindMeister first and what they created from their reading of Susan B. Anthony. So welcome to MindMeister. This is the actual map that the girls created. As you can see here, I started out this project with a template for the girls to go off of. So these white boxes here are questions that I had them think about while we were reading. How is she remembered? Did she reach her goal? Did she have a famous quote? What was her family like? And what was happening in America at the time of her life? The tool itself has a number of different features over here on the side. It allows you to use emoticons. You can highlight different thoughts using these little buttons here. You can change the font color. This area here is for commenting if you are doing this in real-time collaboration, not face-to-face. You can also share the map, create a presentation down here, change the whole theme of it. These buttons up here allow you to make connections. There it is, add a relationship between ideas or create new ideas. This particular version is just the basic version. It only allows you to create 3 mind maps, but you can purchase upgraded versions that do also have additional features. But for this particular one, I just want to give you an example of what the girls created. So I asked them what was happening in America at that time, and what they extracted from the text is that African Americans didn't get treated right, just like women didn't get treated right. That Susan B. Anthony got arrested because she was doing something right and trying to make laws better. Boys apparently said very hateful things to Susan, and that girls had a hard life because boys got better things. In addition to just giving me those facts, I asked them how it made them feel. So I really wanted for them to do some reflection and try to look at Susan's life and look at their own life and how they might be related. So how did that make you feel? Unfair, absolutely. They were disappointed in the president for not making fair laws. And they were really sad and upset and mad that I could never get a job. I guess they mean her. They probably mean themselves. So either way, this is their actual map. Again, you can see it on my website if you click on the link in the comments below. I was really impressed by their, let me find it, right down here, her characteristics. What is she like? This is something that wasn't explicitly stated in the text, so they had to do some pretty critical thinking on this to actually read into the text and extract the feelings that they got about her character. So they were able to pull out that she was determined, that she was patient, positive, grateful. She loved people, that she had a bunch of really good ideas, and that ultimately she was a really nice person that cared about people and really wanted to make things fair. So I was proud of the girls for that. Now that you've seen what the girls created in MindMeister, here are just a couple more shots from the actual implementation. There on the left, the girls are creating their mind map with the notes and the actual book. And then on the right is a shot from the feedback session where I was asking questions and the girls were giving their input as they were creating that mind map and really collaborating with each other. So the focus of this project was actually on the incorporation of that web-based mind map to enhance reading comprehension, but recognizably there are other areas where more advanced technology can be incorporated, like through green screen video editing applications or various ways of sharing their productions, like a digital portfolio software. So if you look at this activity from start to finish, it hits on all 6 of these International Society for Technology and Education standards for students. So not only does it hit on all 6 of this, but we're also hitting those Georgia standards for ELA and social studies, as well as outlined in the learning plan on my website, which can be found again at that link in the comments below. So given the newness and the complexity of this activity, particularly where these second graders were starting from, this participant feedback was expected. They thought it was fun but challenging. They thought that the mind map was helpful in understanding the story, so awesome. They did like learning about Susan and liked reading the story. One child said that they learned more today than they ever have before. I don't know if I was being buttered up for something else, but I will take it. So the lessons learned from this project: if you are a teacher and you would like to introduce mind mapping to a set of learners that are brand new to mind mapping, I would actually encourage you to use a simpler topic or a topic of interest to the students, and maybe even start out with paper at first, so you're not hitting that learning curve of learning the technology as you're going. So maybe start with a simpler topic. Also, the activity itself took longer than anticipated, so I would recommend that you spread this out over multiple sessions, not only because it's a lot to do at one time, but also to give students the opportunity to digest the information that they have read, to really create a very comprehensive and coherent mind map, and then utilize that to create the recreation of the story itself, or whatever topic it is that you apply this to. But in the end, the key to using mind maps effectively is practice, practice, practice. So these students are going to feel like the Karate Kid sometimes, and you, the teacher, as Mr. Miyagi. You just have to encourage them that even if they don't understand exactly what it is that they're doing right now or what the purpose of it is, that the ultimate skill set is something that will benefit them in the long run. So keep at it. Thanks for listening, and good luck.